short introduction of the APPNIC. And back to you, Keiko.
Yeah, thank you, Pusni. Actually, the bidirectional one, point to point, the satellite is quite difficult to install because of the licensing issue. And satellite dishes are very expensive, and it is quite not handy. But for the UDL, satellite is quite cheap, and also license is not that strict because it's only receiving it, just a TV antenna. And so we could we could put this the easy antenna anywhere in Asia to receive the signals and get the internet pass, downlink pass. That's why we started to think about, can we share? Next, please. Soy Asia started to think about how can we share knowledge among universities in Asia on the internet. So APPNIC has a very interesting infrastructure. So we decided to work together and utilize this UDL. So here is, next please. Here is the classroom design at that time. As you can see, the downlink comes from the satellite, but some of the universities almost all universities did not have enough bandwidth for the video streaming terrestrial. However, they have some little narrow internet. Sometimes it's dial-up. So we could utilize downlink on the air and uplink to the internet. So somehow it is unidirectional link is quite well suited with the lecture sharing at that time. Still, they could interact with others. And interestingly, this is a kind of the tunnel, so they can talk to each other very easily. So that is the, we combined internet technology and educational needs, and then implemented the standard, and one by one we implemented in the universities. That's how we started. Okay. So from now on, we started from how can we share knowledge among universities in Asia, and there's a implementing, each university implemented UDL and internet class environment one by one. As you can see, 2002, we had a first lecture delivered to 11 partners in 8 countries. That was the first, that was 2002. In the regular internet, only 9.4% of the population was using internet, but the classroom could be shared among the Asian university utilizing research and education network. So that's kind of prefetch of the future. That's what we are talking about today. And that is a quite interesting experience. And utilizing more like a multicast and IPv6 operation and UDL all together, we have created a very solid and stable environment for classroom for the universities partners. So in 2007, about 20% of the population is started to utilize internet in the world, and we had a quite big number of universities and students were sharing classes. So during this period, we had a lot of research ongoing. How can we use our limited resources effectively? As you can see, the satellite was limited and terrestrial is still very, very slow. So we need to do some engineering. Maybe, Husni, you can explain a little bit about a research topic that we've been conducted during that time.
Oh, yes. Thank you. So as you see on the next slide, back in the HTTP days without the HTTPS, we could easily cast contents, and that we use hub and rimcast. The way it works that we use webcast with prefetch. So this is like CDN in the very rudimentary way. So the reason why this worked is because it was still HTTP days. And then as we go to the next slide, we did IPv6 deployment testbed, H+6 bone. This is back in the 1999. And then we go to the unidirectional link. So this is how we use the satellite link as a bidirectional broadcast link. And then this is explained a bit earlier. And this UDL is really making the satellite as a very good link for the internet. So we could use IP multicast, and it's practically works as a regular link, as you can see. And then we also use policy routing to have a very good connectivity. And then also we even go to the using 2 UDLs. Can you go back to the 2 UDLs, the previous slide? Yes, this one. So as you can see here, this is as Keiko explained earlier, that point-to-point link is very expensive to set up, and we had a limited bandwidth, but the UDL link is can be fast. As you can see the comparison there, we could use this as a 2 UDLs, right? So we can share this link, and then it's with a somewhat sophisticated setup in engineering, we could use this. All right, and now let's go back. Let's go to the next slide. So this is the PMSM multicast routing config. Says this is somewhat complicated diagram, bad drawing from my side, but the idea here is how could we use PMSM multicast routing in this setup, and this is how we set it up. Okay, so this worked for UDL. Okay, and let's go to the next slide. I think this is just a brief thing that we did from the technology side. Okay, back to you, Keiko.
Yeah, you can go on. We have some operational challenges.
Yes, give me a sec. I have a very... Okay, so as you can see here, this is using IP multicast on UDL. As I explained earlier, that UDL is a broadcast media, and sending traffic to the satellite is expensive, and we want to utilize this as much as possible. So that's why we have this IP multicast on UDL. And what we have here is a demo symposium that we had using this IP multicast. And what you see here, we have panelists from at KO sites, and then we have partner sites, Bangkok, Bandung, and Malang. They are connected to this link, and the one you see on the left probably is a bit difficult to see on the screen, but that is the Prime Minister at that time, Koizumi-san. Okay, I think that's the next slide. So the way we did this is we used the somewhat sophisticated policy routing. That is how we manage the traffic. Again, we have very limited resources, so we had to manage this in a good way. So we use policy routing, and we divide this for distance education, policy routing, and commodity traffic. That's just a basic information on this one. Next slide, please. Are we using, sorry, excuse me, are we using old slide or?
No, it's the one.
Okay, all right. So, so this is a M6 bone. So you heard about 6 bone, and M6 bone is the IPv6 multicast deployment testbed that is probably these days, people do not really use IPv6 multicast beyond domains. That is, you see this on the slide number 22. We have TAIN on the left. This is Trans-Eurasia Information Network. So this is connecting to Europe and connect to Japan, APAN, Asia Pacific, and Internet 2 in the US. And we have WIDE project in Japan as well as IEEE. So these are different domains connected using IPv6 multicast. Okay, next slide, please. And at that time, we had this IPv6 multicast beacon. So this is like, I think from the operation, we use the looking glass. So this is somewhat like that, or we use probably some sort of a beacon sending multicast traffic from the States, Europe, Asia, and other places, just to check the connectivity. So this is to show you how we check the connectivity in the IPv6 multicast. Right. Next, please. Yes. So this is something that is quite interesting as well. That is everyone, I think everyone here knows trace route, but doing trace route using multicast is somewhat a different animal in a sense. So we use mtrace2 with the looking glass proxy like this. Next, please. And also, I think probably you briefly saw in the timeline slide that we had /32 from APNIC back in 2003. And then after that, we tried to use IPv6 only operation as a research community. We tried to see what happened if we use IPv6 only, what kind of world that is. So this is what we did. We used NetPT, the IPv6 enabled squid that we patch from the original squid that time. It was squid 2.7 as I remember. And then we tried to do this and we understood what happened if we use IPv6 only. So that was a very good technical challenges that we had. Next slide, please.
Thank you, Fusni. So our APNIC network was also the supporting educational activities, as well as it plays the role as a test bed. So that's how university and researchers are utilizing research and education network in both sides. Thank you. And I remember the multicast was not that easy as it looks. And I remember you had a very difficult days, daily basis. Thank you very much for your support during that time. And then, as you can see, 2007, already 20% of the population is utilizing internet. So actually we had more and more needs to utilize our research and education. Next, please. So next question we had was, how can we collaborate and contribute for disaster recovery? Next, please. Because the Asia Pacific region has a lot of natural disaster coming, a very popular place. It comes regularly. So for example, like a 2004 December, you should remember that Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami hit, and 2007 Myanmar, that is Bangladesh, cyclone Sidr, and Myanmar was hit by cyclone storm Nargis in 2008, and of course Japan got a huge earthquake in Tohoku area in March 11 to 2011. So these are some of the major disaster. Every time we face this disaster, we ask ourselves what we could do. Next, please. So for example, like a 2004 thing, right after the Indian Ocean tsunami, we got together and talked and what we could do as a community. And actually, we had a very good discussion among many stakeholders, including Japanese government, India, and Indonesian university members. And amazingly, 4 universities in Indonesia, partners, came to this symposium and proposing 1 new partners from Siak Kuala area to join, because Siak Kuala, there was a huge damage in universities and faculty members. So as a result, next please, we decided to implement the satellite over there and also provide an educational program from other Indonesian universities in local languages. And also we came up with the idea of a disaster management course to develop together with our other partners. So community had known the very good value about value on the internet, and how we collaborate is very important, and that's why we could move very, very fast. Okay, another one is the Dumbo technology that helped Nargis. Husni, do you have any insight of that?
Yes, this one is using what's called a mobile ad hoc network. So that is MANET. Okay. And then the idea is we use satellite and to connect remote areas. And from there, the connectivity was using laptops. And in order to move around the rough terrain, in some cases, the devices are used connected on top of the elephant. So that's why the name is Dumbo. Yeah.
Yeah, actually the elephants, right?
Yes.
AIT Kanchana, Professor Kanchana led this project for a long time, and we really admire that. So thank you, Husni. And actually, as you can see, the Research and Education Network is for testing as well as education, but also disaster. So demand increasing. Now what happens is we really need it running, and we can't stop it. It's not a service actually, but we really would like to make an environment every single university responsible to run this network together. So what we need to do is, next please. So next question we both has was how to maintain and advance an Asia-wide research and education network. As you all know, each one of the components has to be maintained correctly by each one of the university. We cannot just give it to and just leave it to. Every operators has to know about it, how to do it, and collaborate with others. So our answer is education, of course. So next, please. We started our first operators workshop in 2002, which that is a very fast year of the first class. We delivered classes, we can't stop it. So we collect all the operators in Keio University and how to handle the special network like UDL and IPv6, multicast. It is not commonly available over there. Actually, this is very, very special photo. I am in here. He's there, and Husni is there, and Abbas there, maybe old faces. Okay, anyway, we were young. And then next, next, please. And yeah, we are having a meeting twice a year, and every time we get together and have a workshop for the operators. And sometimes we cannot move because of the budget or funding situation. So in that time, at that time, next please, we had utilizing remote mode of education program we call Global E-Workshop. What happened is like 10 universities doing a workshop together locally, but connected. And the university do not have that much resources. So we put some condensed the important resources virtually. For example, we sometimes use really virtual, but sometimes we ask Starbet in Tohoku to create a network virtualization. So maybe Abbas, are you there? I would like to get your insight of Global E-Workshop. You were main player of designing this environment.
Okay, thank you, Keiko-sensei. My name is Ahmad Basuki, but people know me as Abbas. Okay, I remember when you, I'm recalling my memory that a global e-workshop, it was in the 2008, but the design of everything was done in the summer of 2007 when I was being challenged how to have the solution. Usually we do traveling back and forth, as mentioned earlier, into the last one, like in the 2005. But then to create the environments, I used the virtualization technology. At that time, it was the VMware. And then we've been challenged like with many things, but came up with this kind of solution. Meaning it's like we create a virtual environment inside of the virtual servers, and then to mimic the real environment when we do the hands-on workshop on the live. And then mixing the virtual, like doing together the real space and the virtual space. Like I remember I sit on the room in KU as a SFC campus, and then monitoring what the student had or the participant of the workshop doing. So that explains the everything actually from students doing something. The participant doing something, but the tutor or the will monitor what the student been doing, then giving some answer whenever quickly or promptly whenever the student has some difficulty. I guess that's the excitement of this, is the creating being challenged and then share with the wider community in the Sway Asia project. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Abbas. Yeah, really. Well, I remember we repeatedly run this workshop several times, and at the end we had a very strong operators team in Asia wide, and we could do many things together. So next, please.
Right.
So next, because we got this environment, and research and education network can contribute more and more. So now, after this timing, 2007, how can we share excitement with wider community is next challenges to our community. And sharing create some demands, and researcher, not only network researcher, but also scientists, other kinds of researcher should know about that potential. So that's why we do many activities from now on, from then on. And 2007 actually, next page please. 2007 actually there was a SIGCOM 2007 in here, this very same hall, Kyoto. And then we streaming out the sessions, and all the participants from the idea was we would like to deliver SIGCOM to all Asia, but not some country could not come. So that's why we did the streaming, utilizing multicast streaming trial. We asked or collaborated with wider community, like as you can see, APNJP, TAIN, and Thailand from Thailand, and TAIN to Singapore, and Inherent in Indonesia at that time. So we were collaborating with other RENs and TAINs at that time. Next, please. And we counted, and also together with the global multicast, also we utilize the satellite as well. So satellite plus terrestrial, we delivered almost all Asia regions from here to the area. So all the operation was handled by Asia, Soy Asia and enterprise community. And I remember two interns from Indonesia came to this place and worked very hard to distribute it. And we are very happy. Next, please. And IPv4 listener was confirmed as like this. And so Australia, ARNet was also receiving. Also, United States was also receiving. Next, please. Next was IPv6 listener AS was confirmed like this. Not only Asia Pacific, but also we cut giant Nordnet, and at that time the north part of Europe, they received the streaming from us. So thank you. So from then we conducted several big sessions to demonstrate our value. So let me go through very quickly. The 2008, we had a very fast HD quality class streaming sharing. 2008 was like a 23% of the people were using, but also we try to make the video quality better and better. Next, please. And at that time, not only video, but also we tried multilingual, utilizing different channels of multicast so that each country can tune into the one specific languages and with the video. So that was delivered to the children in Asia. Next, please. That was 270p to go on. Next, please. And next, please. And then 2009, we had a very special moment to share solar eclipse. Do you remember? We had a very, very clear solar eclipse. And we had a very big session for children, 500 children in 8 countries were joined from the video from Eole Island. You can, next, please. You can see like this, and amazingly, children enjoyed. Okay, next, go. And then at that time, the usually classroom was connected, but not each one of students were not connected that very well yet. So that's why we came up with the idea of Dokodemo Soy Asia terminal. So Abbas, you have a inventor of this terminal. Please talk about it a little bit.
Yeah, thank you, Kiko-san. This is inspired with the Dokodemo door from the Doraemon's things, remembering that not in the environment side is connected and also multicast enabled. Then we create some solution to make it easy for everyone to do. So pack it into one the USB or CD CD to boot from the computer or laptop, then to make it into a capable IPv6 multicast terminal, so that we can see the door. I mean, like giving the door to access to the multicast and networks. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. That was very convenient because setting up everything with one USB media, and once you hook up your computer with that media, it can be converted to automatically a receiving side of a multicast, and it was very convenient, and Dokodemo door idea worked very well. So now from classroom to individual education can be shared. So let's go to next page. And Timor-Leste, our another intention is rural area, and Timor-Leste at that time was not connected very well, so we set up with the students. Okay, next please. Yes, and the classroom shared, and still they are very active partners. Next, please. And 2011, we challenged Guinness, actually, together with UNESCO. Next, please. Connectivity with UNESCO, we had 2,592 audience on one places and discussed green society and green economy. It's not that easy at that time. Nowadays, it's no problem, but it was very, very challenging. But we realized it is challenging in the technology side, but challenging for the audience, because we invited Jeffrey Sachs from New York and France and other area of the world. So time zone, we realized, okay, internet breaks us, time zone things. So, but anyway, so this is the kind of reality now, but we tried at that time. Next, please. And not only in indoor event, but also we challenged outdoor event. One day in Asia with UNESCO was, next please, was challenging to streaming out from many World Heritage. That means World Heritage is usually outside. So this is a kind of trial of a mobile network capacity in each country. And Australia was very good, but Japan and many other places was very challenging. But we were collecting data, and outdoor connectivity was focused on that time. Next, please. And yeah, we tried Daibutsu streaming out, but it didn't work very well. But anyway, so next, please. Okay, and at that time, more and more users internet, and we realized teaching teachers are very important to make a next generation. And we started teacher to be education with Mozilla Foundation. Next, please. And the next, please. As a result of these experiences, our community has a confidence that research and education is very important to fetch the future beforehand, to make it real, and also create the future. That's why we came up with a Bandung Declaration for REN promotion at that time. So next, please. The top management of many universities, next please, came up with a statement that we really promote research and education network as a community, and that still we are doing right now. So here, and what would be the next generation of REN in Asia Pacific? So that's the next, next please, timeline, starting from 2017. Now, more than 50%, 2017 is the year that 50% of the population started to use internet. So we try out, we do not need satellite to deliver courses anymore. So we think about what would be the next things. And we developed MOOC platform and course development, online course development, trial, or then at the same time, we discussed the future vision. And then COVID-19 hit us. And we, amazingly, all of our community members, they said we were ready, because we know how to do it. We know how to share. We know how to utilize internet for the education, work, meetings. So that is a value that university members get the future beforehand and then ready for any accidents. And then we were very happy to see everyone led in each universities to migrate into online activities, online learning. And then 2021, we decided to stop the satellite signal and move to the next generation. And that is the timing that we started with a new collaboration with APNIC Foundation. And now we can talk about now and the future. Sorry. So maybe go to page 76. I would like to jump to the new challenge with APNIC Foundation. And currently we have reorganized our team, not only APPRI and Soy Asia, education and infrastructure. We have more detailed collaboration with our partners. Okay, next please. We yeah, we have a research and education network RENS at the bottom, of course. It is very important part of our community. And then right on top of it, we have research data platform for promoting open science, which is still under development. And on top of it, we have ID identification and micro-credential digital platform, which also running right now. And we have education program and research program. So I'd like to ask a little bit detailed talk. So for the research and education network, we have Arena Pack as a partners. We going to page 81, 80, please, sorry, yeah. So Arena Pack is a research and education network with a very fast fiber optic network, C cable, basically connecting with Guam to create an alternative path. Can you go to the next page? As you can see, the white line is existing line RANs, and the orange one is something that Arena Pack is developing right now. And all 4 lines centered in Guam are 100 gigabps. And we are collaborating with partners. We are not, Arena Pack is not connecting to one university, more like Arena Pack is connecting RANs. So for example, Guam to Malan. Malan is just a point to in Indonesian RANs entry point. And we are connecting Quezon City, which is ASTI, but it's not connecting ASTI, it's connecting President, Philippine RANs. And something like that. We are connecting RAN and RAN together with an alternative route. Then going to next page, and Timor-Leste is now connecting as a virtual mode, and then more and more collaboration is ongoing. And highlight of this year is the Indonesian connectivity 100 gigabps, page 86. Abbas, congratulations on your successful launch, and you can talk about a little bit about this next.
Okay, so during this event, it was like the MOU signing on the sideline of the G20 DEV working groups, digital economy working groups. That time was like in the 31st August 2002. And then I mean, it's like being witnessed by the digital ministers of Japan, Excellencies Konotaro Sensei, and then also being witnessed by the Minister of Informatics and Communications in Indonesia, and also with the Indonesian ambassador for Japan. This is kind of momentous events to mark that this is the starting point for the next 15 years support to connect to the ID RANs, and beyond, as Keiko Sensei already mentioned, this is not only for the UB, it's just the gateway to the RAN. So we invite them, and we, in fact, in the ID RAN, we're collaborating with many stakeholders to enable the wider coverage of the ID RANs. Next, please. Okay, maybe back to you. Oh, okay. So this slide is which is still, in the last 9 August, it's also another momentous event. Means in the beginning, I myself quite doubt about how we can really utilize this 100 gigs. But in fact, with the advancements of technology, and then we can utilize this, and then there is a need to do the some activities that that requiring very big bandwidth. It was like around 42 gig streaming from Malang to Japan, and then also back from Japan to Indonesia with very low latency, around 80 to 85 milliseconds, and it was quite clear. And then And then we use these 8K display with uncompressed streaming, then requiring many more equipment that not really available in the Indonesian market at the times. Then we got the support from the Astro, Seiko, and Juniper, Aristan, and with other stakeholders. We route the traffic to GXP Tokyo, Cynet, and then Guam, then go to Indonesia, like in Malang. Back to you.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this session, and 8K uncompressed video was extremely beautiful. But we found out a lot issues to solve in the next stage. Thank you, Abbas, for your hard work at that time. And then next, please. So Arena Pack is a cable terrestrial submarine, but we still have a very strong interest in space or satellite. Husni, do you have, you can talk about a little bit about future?
Yes, thank you. As you know, with the deployment of LEO satellite networks, as well as the upcoming high altitude platform systems, I think it's time for us to think about the space and aero and how we can utilize this network fully. And so we are still designing how we can work with the companies who are deploying internet from the space and from the sky. So please think about this, that we're still in the design phase of this one. Yeah, I think that's a brief description of the Sarina Pack.
Thank you. So this is, we call Sarina Pack for the satellite and aero. Okay, so next, please. As you can see, we have a platform to recognize the significant achievement of the students by issuing open batch. Next page. Digital batch and open batch system is ready now to issuing to the students right now for the micro credential promotion. And education program for the network engineer is a major activities right now as well. Every time we go to the new sites, we really feel we need an education for the future operators. Okay, I will pass microphone
Okay.
to.
Next page, please. So, education program called API is my project right now, and let me explain a little bit. Next page, please. One more page. So, Asia Pacific Internet Engineering Program. So we do education for network engineers, and the unique point is not only skills, but also the communities and the kind of project-based learning. And also the goal is to participate lens. So I was a learner in 2000 in School on Internet, Keiko's project, and I participated in the first operators workshop and some of the operator workshop and education programs in past 20 years. And we redesign and doing kind of same thing in different ways. Next page, please. So important thing is not only skills, but also the human networks. Community is very important, and connecting to the future career for young generations. So to make it possible, we have several components in our programs. So next page, please. So first, students learn on Future Learn platform. It's an online MOOC style, so they can learn anytime from anywhere. And after they learn, and they can proceed to API camp. But before that, learning online by him or herself is kind of tough. So we provide e-workshops beside with the online learning. So bi-weekly meeting and we provide some workshop, discussions, and the guest lecturer from industries. And so people have not able to meet on site, but they can discuss and get to know each other a little bit from the e-workshop. And after that, they come to a campsite and provide have a 5-day training session. So and after they complete the camp, they can proceed to the internship kind of thing. So next page, please. Oh, this is the online learning thing. If you are interested, please take a look when you have time. Next page, please. So this is a e-workshop. So it's a Zoom meeting bi-weekly. So next page, yeah, camp. So camp is a 5-day session, and out of 100 people or 150 people, we select about 10 to 15 people, and they come to one place, different country, different universities, and trainers coming from APNIC wide project, and ITAC, and we have many people getting involved in the camp, and they worked together to make one network. So it's kind of project-based, not doing a textbook style. The answer is not single. They can design and deploy network in a small group. So Sai-san here was a teaching assistant for the camp to help students. So it's community-based, and it's little bit different from just hands-on, facing in a school, and but a small group. And how was it?
So I think, as I was briefly introduced, I had a background in computer science and engineering myself. But as Kudo-san rightly pointed out, I think when we are born in a sort of entitled generation, I'd like to think, where we rode the internet wave, it is difficult to have a full understanding of the internet, and you're pretty half-hearted even when you do attempt to learn it on your own. But through the course of the program, especially the camp, you are in a nurturing environment, in a sense where there is a comfort for you to explore the depth of your understanding, irrespective of what you know or don't know. And there are resources that are dedicated exactly for that, in the form of, as Kudo-san mentioned, the teachers, the instructors, and us teaching assistants ourselves, where you're forced to unlearn if you've learned something wrong, and really focus on learning it the right way. And it feels like a safe environment, right? In the sense, you're free to question, you're free to look stupid, you're free to go into the depth of it, because everybody is focused on you understanding what's happening, and not here to judge in any way. So I thought that was the flipped classroom model at its best, in a sense.
Okay, thank you very much. Next page, please. So, we did a camp in Keio University in Japan, and also we just did a second camp in Indonesia. Next page, please. Yeah, this is the second pictures from second camp in Indonesia. We have Shane from APNIC Academy team, and we did a lot of collaboration. The Dr. Najawadi from USM and everybody community-based, supporting system is already made and able to deploy camp in partner site now. Next page, please. So this is an interview from student. Do we have time to? Yeah, okay. Yeah, please.
主にインターネットの歴史とか、インターネットがどのように使われてるか、インターネット の構築とか、インターネットの設定も勉強しました。結構難しかったんです。僕、電気工学で、新しいことばかりだったんですけど、面白かったです。
In the APNIC camp, I learned about a lot of hands-on sessions, right? It is really fascinating for me because I really want to learn about hands-on sessions.
But from API program, I can get my amazing experience. The first is I can get friends from another university in the Asia Pacific.
お世話になった TA さんとか先生方とかもちゃんと仲良くできましたし、はやぶささんとは特に仲良くなりました。ラレン先生とアバ先生が僕たち帰った後勉強会やろうって、それでAPI キャンプの皆さんと一緒に勉強会しました。
I'm so happy to join this program. So I'm very recommend to my friend. I say to my friend, what you can get from API online. It is so many. The first one is networking and spirit. I'm share my activity and API program in my Instagram, like live report. Can see my repository in my Instagram.
I want to work in the networking area, especially in cloud computing, because I think cloud computing is a future for networking.
The tutors there advised me that I have to be a creative person, and then I have to experience in my industry. I need to learn, dive more in the world of technology there. So for my career prospect, I want to be internet engineer before. So it helps me a lot by the advice tutors gave me before.
Okay, so we have a variety, diverse students coming from not only computer science area, but also electrical engineering or other major people are participating in the program. And also after completing the camp, we provide an internship opportunity to students. So those people are currently helping us teaching in batch 2 or batch 3. So, the first batch students are already teaching, helping younger almost same year, but friends to learn skills. And also we do have operation internship. So inviting to deploy a conference network in wide project research meetings and that kind of thing. We do internship and half learning and half helping others and try to make the next step for the participant. So next page, please. So we have the first year we have a 75 students, and the next year, this May, 170 participants, and coming up next batch will be 160 people from Indonesia, Malaysia, Bangladesh, Vietnam, and Japan. So the community is expanding. And Chon Sensei, could you give us some comment about why you recommend this program to your student in USM?
Yes, thank you, Kuda-san. So basically, I've attended the camps. I always encourage the students to join any outside camp. This camp is very different from others because it's actually the community that is built. A lot of times when the students attend any networking course, etc., it's like, okay, they go, then they come back, they forget. But this is very unique program where they build the community because there is a pipeline set up design where the students attend the e-workshop, attend the online workshop with And also after that, once they get all the badges, they actually can apply for the internship. So through the internship, they actually can enhance their hands-on skill as well. In addition, the physical camp is really very fruitful for the students because they get to touch the equipments, they get to feel the real problem when something doesn't work in when you set up a large network. So it's very interesting, and I always encourage the student, please join. And for those attending, participating, I do hope that all of you encourage whoever the young generations that you know to join this camp as well. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. So USM Chon Sensei is going to organize the next camp in Malaysia. Thank you so much. And running out of time, but last component, let me briefly talk about community-based research. Next page, please. So one of the components that we also support is the community-based research framework. We realized collaborating creates a strong community and strong results of the research. So we decided to create some framework to support the joint research project. Multi-stakeholders, community-based, and the younger generation to be involved and create a network and people. So that's our hope. And maybe next page. So we already have some of the process designed, and next please. And several projects that is ongoing right now. So basically many universities get together and have the same issues to solve and do research together. So Chon Sensei, very short comments about CBR because you're running involved in many project right now.
Yeah. So
CBR.
Yes. Thanks, Sensei. So basically, the CBR is to bring different researchers from different partners together to solve real world issues using the internet. So through the CBR, as you can see, we have been involved in quite a number of CBR. When we started and we go out to the field, we find that there's actually a lot of research that we can do with the community. So through this CBR that the projects that we establish, it allows us to actually go to the field and do a research that can help the community. And not only that, it actually creates a platform for all the partners to work together, because currently, previously, a lot of times, every researchers have their own projects, but they don't connect with each other. When we connect with each other and when we collaborate, we work together, it actually makes the project very meaningful. And also it helps to address the community concern. It helps to build the trust, credibility with partners. Also, it provides a very effective problem-solving skills when we put different minds together. So yeah, that's about the CBR.
Thank you. So you have a lot more work to do. But thank you very much for your contribution. So next, please. So this is the brief overview of current activities, including education, research, and infrastructure and platforms. And we are enjoying being busy. So thank you very much, Sylvia and everyone, and listening to our project overview. And we would like to hope to work together with you more and encourage younger generation to come into this area, and hopefully we can create a brighter future together. Thank you.
Thank you, Keiko. Unfortunately, we are running out of time, but I would like to just highlight a couple of insights from like a wrap up of what I just heard. That is, it's quite amazing. I think that in the audience, there is a wealth of knowledge and expertise also on how difficult it is to actually collaborate. And when you see that Bandung declaration signatures, I try to imagine the long hours and the many chasing, processes that happen in the background to actually get people to agree on those paragraphs that maybe, that simple, but it's not that simple, and to actually have those signatures somewhere. So I think that it's important to recognize that collaboration takes really a lot of energy and resources, in collaboration across time zones and cultures and languages even more, which is one of the biggest challenges in the region. But I want to, I'm always amazed about the visionary approach that the Soy Asia community has had over the years. And I encourage the people in the audience to join the keynotes about the future of the internet, because they were right in 2005 to say that IPv6 was the way to go. And they were right about getting it on teleconferencing and getting ready for online education way before we thought that we were going to need that. So, these people really know what's coming. I don't know where you have your crystal ball, but I look forward to what's next and what are the challenges that you want to share in the session about the future of the internet. One thing that you mentioned, Keiko, is that sharing is scary because it creates demands and it maybe lost potential. I think at APNIC, we feel very similar when I'm looking at Adley over there, how scary it is when demands from the community come and we don't know really how are we going to schedule them all, and we want to serve the community in the best way possible. And I really think it's important to recognize that challenge. And this is a room, a conference hall, completely full of very brave people that are dealing with that feeling of being scared of sharing. Because as soon as you share your results, it means someone's going to use them. What are you going to do with that? So that is pretty amazing. And the other part that I wanted to highlight is how there is a need to actually think how the pieces of the puzzle connect together, and the effort that you guys have made to connect infrastructure with research, with the actual community needs in disasters, or all the list of the CDRs that we saw is very rich. It really encourages creativity and curiosity and builds community, which is, I always say that we need a hook, we need a carrot, we need a stick sometimes to just link to the things that we want to do in the future, and finding professors and mentors along the way that gives us that opportunity is very, very, very important. So for those in the audience that are in those teaching positions, that are experts in their fields, please consider to donate some of your time and volunteer to support these amazing initiatives. I'm sure there is someone out there that needs you as a mentor in their journey, and we need everybody to participate. It takes a village. So with that, I would like to close the session. The foundation is extremely honored to support this project and its iterations into the future. And it's a lesson learned for all of us on collaboration, curiosity, and creativity. So I commend you all on your work and the great people behind you. And I thank you everybody for being here and support us today. That's all.
Kusuni-san, Abazu-san, Chon-sensei, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, can you show the gallery view on the stage? Yeah, take photo. Can gallery view? Yeah. Oh, thank you very much. Okay, so we'll take photos. So 3, 2. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, so Awad-san, Fusini-san.
Thank you.
Thank you
very
all.
much.
See
you.
you in Penang.
See you. Yeah, see you in
Thank you
Penang
very
soon.
much, and see you in Malaysia, Penang soon.